Yes. I've been silent lately because they're happening in Israel. It's not easy. It's not easy to comprehend or grasp. Not only that, but it is also something that is saddening me as a friend of Israel. And what takes me the most is a diss by the Jews themselves is associated with Holocaust. This is a tormenting time. It was in the time of Sukkot. Let me Google that. What is Sukkot? The festival. They are living outside in a very simple way. It's a 7-day celebration. It's the Tree Pilgrimage Festival, on which those Israelites who were commanded to make a pilgrimage to the temple in Jerusalem. You see, during this time, I've been contemplating, alongside watching every news coming from both Israel and Norwegian, BBC, Al Jazeera, and CNN, Sky News, all of those mainstream media. And everyone knows what happened. So I feel it is just not within my words capability to talk about this in terms when you are to listen to me. It is recommended that you go to I24 News and follow up the news broadcasting there. I24. So I've been reflecting and listening, and it was 50 years after Yom Kippur war, the war that is well known for Yom Kippur in 1973, and it is also 30 years from that moment, 80 years from now, that Jews in Europe were slaughtered. It is devastating how criminals, as they regard them, and I bet there is no good words than Hamas. There is no good enough word to express what kind of cruelty this is, other than to say it is Hamas. And Hamas, as the terrorist organization, did all this. It is also explained in the Bible. Hamas is written in the Bible. And what it means is doing wrong, doing evil, evil doing. So that is Hamas in its own nature. And I think that the rockets that are pointed against Israel, it was in this last Saturday, it was 4,000 rockets, and Hamas bragged about 5,000 rockets were fired up against Israel in one go. So the Iron Dome had obviously problems with this. And we can see the result of making peace agreement with Hamas. You don't make, and I think that is a wakening up for the Israeli people. You don't make peace agreements with Hamas in its broader or more real term, that you don't make peace with such Hamas. That is the rockets. As long as Israel give up and makes peace, which they are not portrayed as. They are not portrayed as peacekeepers. The more peace Israel are willing to sacrifice land, Israel is willing to sacrifice for peace, the more, I don't know whether we have recognized it, but the more Israel gives in, bend over for Hamas, the more evil it becomes. Until the degree that Israel thought it was all peaceful. Israel thought it was all good. But as I have been reflecting over those rockets, even after 5 days of attack on the Gaza City, where those Hamas is placed, it still continue firing rockets. How can that be? After 5 days, intensely, night and day, firing at this big giant of Hamas. How can that be? That they are still firing up rockets against Tel Aviv, and I watched the flight radar in order to see whether there are flights going in and out from Tel Aviv. And still it is working. And it is as those rockets are from hell. I have to say, I have to express myself in a very clear way, as if Israel doubt itself, as Israel bend over for those Hamas. I don't want to use terrorists because it is more than terrorists. It is manslaughters. And that is not terrorist. Terrorist is scaring up people. But this, to the degree that over 1,000 people in Israel were slaughtered, it is Hamas. Hamas is the new and ancient word for this cruelty, no words can express this kind of Hamas. I say Hamas and IDF. I don't want to go into details, but I've heard that IDF stands for the hand of God. They have deciphered it, and it states, I can't explain it now because it is years since I heard it. IDF is the hand of God, the just hand of God. And I think if God is not ruling this country, if they don't obey to the word of God, of having nothing associated with Hamas, now Hamas have hostages, Israeli, Americans hostages in Gaza, as they have been through hell. And the hell is Gaza. Gaza is hell. And IDF try to hit those rocket firing places, but it seems not to stop. It seems they are not able to stop those rocket firing. So I think they are possessed. Hamas is not only by human terms evil, it is evil in its deepest sense, but it seems to be a troll that people are afraid. Israelis are afraid. But if they trusted God, they should not be afraid. And God, in his letters, in his word, states, don't be afraid. Jesus also said, don't be afraid, fear not. And the prophet said to his student, don't fear anything, because those that are with us are greater than those are with them. So I think Israel have been, by nations, scared to take the next step regarding Hamas. And I think that is maybe tormenting Israel to the degree that just for some few days ago, it was a bitter fight between Israelis. They are fighting a bitter fight between themselves, either this or that, and any government ruling was spiking up the intrigues, the turmoil between the Jews. And we, Israel-loving people, I was there in August. I was in Sderot, where they now are finding remnants of people that are being slaughtered. I was there in August, and I felt this kind of emptiness, this kind of lack of protection, lack of spiritual Israel. I missed it. I missed it in Jerusalem. I missed it in Haifa. I missed it in Sderot. I missed the spirit of Israel. And as I was leaving Israel, a lady there that was helping people in Gaza, in the Palestinian people, a Jewish lady, she was furious over the government of Israel, furious of how Israel treated the Palestinian people. And I think she may have been right in its own logic. Because when you get rid of Hamas, which Israel should strive for, get rid of this Goliath that is mocking the Jews, slaughtering the Jews, attempting to conquer Israel. And this, for God, I would say only to Israel, remember, God regard you as the apple of his eye. Don't touch Israel. Don't bargain about Israel. Don't ever try to fix a deal with the enemy. Don't do it. Now you are brought to the extreme. You have been fighting among each other. Now you can see when the enemy is retaliating. Now you are coming together. Why would it be such a reason? Because you are stubborn. You are hard. You are not following the word of God. You should now, as I see on pictures, that there are Bible readers in the groceries. Now you are turning to God. And that is what God wants. God wants you to turn to God. And because he loves you, he takes care of you. And it is written, follow his commandments and he will protect you. And Hamas, you should not try to forget, you should try to fight. And when you find your enemy, you will fight them. And the peace will reign. I thought of this happening. I think it is a promise. This what happened between Hamas and what they did is a sign, because Israel is a sacred land. We call it the Holy Land, but it is sacred. You can't tamper with this land. You can't tamper with God's land. And God chose you to live there. And see if you can keep his word. That is the only deal that you ever will have to fight over. Is the deal with God. If you do the deal with other nations, other entities, you will fail. There is no stronger protection in anything than God. And this is not a religious preach. I have no intentions, but it is the only deal that is with you and the Almighty. And now he brought you to Israel. He brought all the Jews to Israel. And it was the celebration of the Torah that was ongoing this moment of time. Celebration of the Torah. I have a word for you, my friends. There are three things that goes together, that can't be broken. And go to the old rabbis, Kabbalists, and what is called Gematria. It will all confirm one thing. Israel, Jews, and the Torah, the Word of God, belongs together. The Word of God, Israel, and Jews, the Torah. I can't differ between what is first, what is last, what is in the middle. You belong together. Keep that notion that you belong together as three in one. That is the strongest thing you can have. I'm a simple Norwegian. I have a flag of Israel back in the because I want to remind everyone that view these videos, high and low, here and there, that I as a Gentile, as a Goyim, reminds Israel to keep his word. Have Torah been a toy for you? Have the promised Israel been a toy for you? Have the notion and the foundation of the Jewish people been a toy for you? Are you toying with it? Or are you serious? God is in his word. So where are you going? Where are you going? You believe in God? No, you believe in Torah. And I talked to a secular, if you can say that, about a Jew. He was not really obedient to any, I don't know, he was not typically religious. And I wouldn't say of any Jews that they are religious, but in some way they are, because they are holding some men higher, and what they say is more profound, but the word of God you should never forget. And he said, as a secular Jew, if you understand me right, I asked, how do you see when you read the Bible, the Torah? How do you see it? How is it for you to read Torah in your own language? He said, he gave me just one word. It is beautiful. Because the gematria, you see, every letter, every sentence in the Bible have so intrinsic value and a message to it that you will be blown away. Only we Gentile, we have no clue about that. But I am keenly interested in some explanations about the Torah from the Jewish side. And This video is not about me, it's about you. Be reminded that Hamas will be defeated when you follow the word of God, because he promised you. And whatever, in whichever way you are following God, I don't really mind that. I'm not here to say this is right, this is wrong. No, I'm not doing that. It is not for me to judge. But in which way you do it, ask God's advice. Ask God for his blessing. And I hear now the garment, tzitzit. It's a garment, white garment, that is you put it over, and it have these strings, 4 in each corner, 4 of these strings of threads that is connected, and it is as if you are protected with the love of God. And I can advise, use this tzitzit as much as you can, because it is, cover yourself with the promises of God. I love you. So I wanted to return to Israel this time. I won't. It's hard for me to sit here and just watch how the people is suffering. It's hard to see. And I want to be together with you as much as I can. It would be a blessing for me and all my family if I continue this trip to Israel. It is the best time in my life. Ever since I came to Israel, it has been a blessing. I believe in some way or the other, even though the Israeli people are fighting among each other, I think that I have no judgment to that, because they will find, God will take care of you. That is no doubt in my mind. God will in any way take care of you. But I have this appeal. Use this tzitzit. Whatever reason you have for it, use it. And ask God. Follow God. The only deal you have as Israel is the pact, is the agreement, is the deal you have with God. It's crazy, but it is good. It is what we should do. And you are a great blessing to the nations. Now, I know that Israel is the best blessing that anyone can have. And you will be the great light for the nations by following the Torah. Torah, Israel, and the Jews. Torah, Israel, and the Jews. They belong together. They are inseparable. It is only harming everyone if you separate them. Now the Torah is coming back, and I want to say Shalom to Israel in the best way I can by doing this video. Thank you.